Welcome to Rise Above, the podcast where you turn pain into purpose and struggles into strength. I'm Jacqueline. So far, I've shared 3 episodes with you all. My story, where I come from, some things that I've been through. I've also shared the moment that my life changed, and I also shared about love, loss, and being a stepmom. So this episode, we're going to reflect a little bit about everything that I have shared in the previous 3 episodes with you all, and how what I've been through has been a catalyst to where I am today. So while I was in each and every one of those moments, I could not see past what was going on. I was in survival mode. And that's natural. That's our human instinct to go into survival mode whenever you face anything that's challenging or anything that's outside of the norm. What I will say is, what I've learned is that when you pray for strength, right? You pray for resilience. You pray for financial stability. You pray for God to protect your children. And we think that it would be black and white. At least that's my perception, thinking that it's black and white, right? You pray for all of this and God is going to go ahead and give you, or to whomever you pray to, or to whomever you ask for strength and resilience and anything else that you may ask for, right? The universe. And we expect a black and white answer. But in reality is that when we ask and pray for those things, we are faced with challenges and battles that give us the strength for us to get within that. What do I mean? It's weathering the storm. Like you're in the eye of the hurricane and you're facing these torrential downpours and outstanding winds that not even an umbrella can hold and protect you. And that's what I had to learn. Everything that I went through in my past, up until most recently, it doesn't mean that I haven't gone through anything recently. It just means that whenever I face any trial or tribulation, I'm stronger than what I was the first time. So I embrace it. Because if I did not go through what I went through in my past, who knows where I would be? Would I appreciate what was lost? Would I appreciate how blessed I was to get it back, but revamped? Would I even be able to say that I can recognize or relate to some people that face struggles, right? So that, a lot of people ask me, wow, you've been through a lot. How have you managed? The reality is that I don't know how I managed, because in the moment, I didn't see things clear cut. It was survival mode. So for me, it was more in the moment, in the now, and praying and asking God, like, help me get out of this situation. I don't know what to do. It was a lot of tears, a lot of unmet needs that I thought that I needed at the time. And I had to learn that what I was going through, it was God's way of directing me in the right path. I was already headed to the wrong path, but I didn't realize that. I thought I was doing okay. And I'm not saying that I deserve to lose the loved ones that I've lost. I'm not saying, what I'm saying is that when you go through struggles, there's a lesson that needs to be learned. And until you learn the lesson, you're going to keep repeating the same thing over and over and over and over again. When it comes to losing loved ones, I had to learn that their purpose in this world was already served. There was nothing left for them to do. And I had to be okay with that. I had to learn that. Was it difficult? Absolutely, it was difficult. My upbringing, was also a catalyst for things that I accepted in my life. I had to learn that. I couldn't understand why things were happening to me. It was always the question, why God, why God, why? And that was the wrong question for me to ask. I didn't have to ask why. I have faith in that God was guiding me in the direction that I was needing to be in. But I didn't know that back then. I could just see what was right in front of me. Not being able to pay my bills, financial instability, having experienced something completely traumatic that changed me for the rest of my life, having experienced a secondary loss that really crumbled my world down, and me feeling the way that I felt. So it wasn't about the why. It was about what lesson am I not learning, that I keep repeating these cycles, that I keep being in this situation. And until I was ready to face it and see it that way, I knew I was going to continue getting the same messages from God, the same issues from God, right? You know, when it comes to my love life was never where it was supposed to be. And I'm not saying that I didn't love my husband. I'm not saying that I didn't love my fiance at the time. Absolutely I did. But within time, I had to learn the different types of love. I had to learn that why was I accepting what I was accepting in my relationship with my fiance? My husband showed me what true love was about. He did. He did. But his purpose on this world was already served. It was already done. And while I still cannot understand if the purpose was served, why did he have to pass away? That is not for me to question at all. God knows why he does things. God knows why I'm still here. My purpose here is still not fulfilled. Think about that. And I know that I'm not the only one that goes through or has been through what I have been through. So talk to me. Talk to me in the comments. And I know that some of you may not be comfortable enough for others to see your comments. And if that's so, send me an email. Send me an email and we can chit chat via email. What are some things that changed you? What are your perception of what has been discussed in the past 3 podcasts episodes of the things that I've been through? And let me be clear. These episodes are not for people to see me as strong, are not for people to be like, damn, I didn't know you went through that. Like, wow, I admire you. I appreciate that. I want to inspire anyone, even if it's a little bit of hope that you still have within yourself for whatever struggles that you go through, that you can see that everything that I went through gives you a little bit of hope. There's always light at the end of the tunnel, even though it may be the darkest battle you may be fighting. Use your community and your immediate family, your immediate friends. Use that. Maybe you watching this episode is a sign for you to go the other way, or to keep trying and to not give up on yourself. But you have to be ready to do that. I went through what I went through for years because I wasn't ready. I put being a mom first, and I don't regret it for a day. Why? Because the greatest blessing that I have is my daughter. My daughter is so much more than what I could have ever been at her age. That is the blessing that I have. That is how God gave back to me. She owes me nothing. The fact that she is in the path that she is, and that she's accomplished so much that she's accomplished, and she has financial literacy at her age, the age of 23, is more than enough blessing and reward for everything I've been through. She owes me nothing. I would never tell my daughter that she owes me anything for having made the decision to have her when she didn't have a decision to come into this world. Think about that. Kids come to your life for a reason. And I always say my daughter saved me. She did. Just like when I met my husband and my stepson came into my life. We had something in common, and our bond grew even more when my husband passed away, because he lost a dad and I lost the husband. He lost the only person that he really had in his life that gave him all the love and affection. So he was gaining 2 people between myself and my daughter that gave him that love unconditionally without even thinking about the bloodlines. And he filled the void that I had of having lost my husband, because he's a piece of him. I don't dwell that he's a piece of him. I look at him as my son, that I'm blessed enough to be in his life. Why are we reflecting? Because sometimes you need a moment to reflect back on what you did good and what you need to change. And that should be something that we do in a daily basis. Sit down and reflect on your day. How could I have done that better? Was there a better way? Or even something as simple as holding yourself accountable for getting yourself into situations that you shouldn't have been in. I can tell you right off the bat, one of the things that I learned was that I would chase after every one of my partners. If we broke up, I initiated the reconciliation. If we had an argument, I initiated the peacemaking of it. Instead of having a conversation, instead of seeing the sign from up above That maybe that breakup was because I still needed growth within myself, and that person needed growth within themselves, instead of I forced it. So what's a bigger lesson to learn? Things that are forced is misguidance. Things that are forced is a lack of self-love. Things that are forced is a lack of self-awareness. So I didn't care enough for myself, or was self-aware that I should have not been in certain relationships and forcing them because I was leading with emotion rather than mindfulness. So take a moment and reflect and talk to me. As I mentioned earlier, talk to me, tell me what resonates, whether it's episode 1, 2, or 3, or what I'm saying in this episode. Drop a comment down below and let me know. Let's talk about it. And again, my contact information is available on my page. And if it's not, just send me a quick little message or a comment below. Or if you want to send it to me on my Instagram page or my TikTok page, is Rise Above with Jacqueline. It's rise_with Jacqueline on TikTok and on Instagram. So this episode is necessary because I unloaded a lot. And that's not even half of the things that I've been through. It's snippets. I don't regret anything that I went through, because then I wouldn't be the person that I am today. And that's the reality. What you go through is what's going to make you stronger. It's what's going to help you build resilience. And it's what's going to help you learn that lesson when you're ready to learn it, when you can see it. Because when you're on the inside of the circle going through everything that you're going through, it's so hard for you to see what's going on. But when you seek the support from someone on the outside looking in, you can develop and see the patterns and develop a coping mechanism to put yourself first. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that what I have shared here today resonates with some of you. And if it has, drop a comment below. Share with me your thoughts. Share with me what you're processing. What are some lessons that you have had to learn that were the most difficult lessons? What are lessons that you're continuously learning? Talk to me. That's what I'm here for. I'm looking to inspire, not motivate. Because motivation has to come within you. You have to have the discipline. You have to have the understanding of what you want out of life. I can't tell you that. I can inspire you. I can instill some hope, but not motivate. Again, thank you for tuning in. Drop comments below on what resonates, what you can relate to, and what your reflection is, whether it's about this episode or the previous 3 episodes. And I hope that within all the episodes I've given, that something resonates with you and that you find pieces of yourself in my story, and it allows you to start the path or your journey to healing. It is so beautiful on the other side of healing. Until the next one, remember, anything you can go through, you can rise above.